Hi, in this video I'm going to go over how to create assets for a game. Assets for a game. In this case, this game is I call it bunnies game, and this game is a game of collecting cards of bunnies. Now each time I press the enter key, you can see on the screen, it will actually change the rabbit. Now all of these rabbit variation look quite the same, but what lets me change the rabbit is the fact that it is built from different parts of rabbit. Okay, so how do we do that? Can we create numerous numbers of variation of the same asset by using asset graphic with limited numbers? Okay, so this sounds a bit confusing, but let me go into detail. So first of all, if I look here, this is the Unity game, of course. If I look here on the hierarchy, I have only three objects. We have the main camera, we have the game manager, which should manage all the game, and we have a bunny card clone, okay, which is actually a clone of a prefab. And if I stop the game, you can see I only start with the main camera and the game manager. The game manager creates this bunny from all these elements, all these stripes. Okay, he constructs the bunny. So how does it work? So when I run the game, okay, and I press the enter key, I get a bunny. And this bunny is a bunny card, and the bunny card is actually an object who has a 5 sub objects. And the sub object, you can see it has here like background, sprite renderer, leg sprite renderer. Of course, SR is a short for sprite renderer, for the body, for the head, and for the ears. So all of them together construct this bunny. Now, there's a lot of things to say about how this is constructed, but what we really want to focus on is how to get the graphics, the parts to create this kind of bunny, to be able to construct a bunny from different parts. And how many parts do we need to create, let's say, for example, 100 bunny, 1,000 bunny, or maybe 3,000 bunny? So in this case, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move to another program, which is Adobe Illustrator. Adobe Illustrator is part of the Adobe Cloud suite, Adobe programs, which the most known is probably Photoshop. But what's good in Illustrator is a editor for editing vector graphics. And what do I mean by vector graphics? So vector graphics, for example, we have this bunny here. Now, if I press Alt and use the scrolling of the mouse, I can zoom in. Now, let's just look on this eye. Okay, I'm going to go closer and closer and closer. And see, the closer I get, still the graphics looks really nice and really sleek. That's because vector graphics is actually math-based graphics. So every time I go closer, it's actually recalculated how to draw this image. It's also for this type of images that we have a certain number of shapes and colors, it is much more light. It uses much less memory than graphics, for example, that is created with Photoshop. So this is very useful for game because I can actually create this bunny in any size of I want. If I want to take this picture and print it on a huge canvas and just put it on a building, I can do that with this kind of graphics. But how do we use that to construct the bunnies? So first of all, let me show you the source. So I'm not that great of an artist. So what I really use, I use this site. Okay, this site called the FreePic. Okay, let me put it site here. Okay, so this is the site FreePic. Okay, and I pay for a membership, and it has a lot of beautiful graphics. And you see here all these bunnies of this creator, which his name is Catalyst Stuff, and he has some cute and amazing graphics. So I looked here for all the bunnies, and I got this. And to create my own bunny, I actually took them and constructed together a bunny, which is basically a lot like this bunny, only his face forward, right? So I took this and constructed this in Adobe Illustrator. Maybe in another video I'll show you exactly how to do it, but basically when you get an asset from a site like this, you can, let's say if I want to download it, okay, you download it right away, but it has a few things inside. It has a EPS file and a JPEG file. So a JPEG file is like an image, like you can see here, but an EPS file is actually a vector file which you can then edit and change the different paths. And this is what one of the advantages of working with sites like this, which actually provide you with assets you can change and work with, as long as you, of course, pay for them. Okay, so we got this bunny. I changed it a bit, and I got to kind of this basic money. And from this basic bunny, I wanted to start and change it and create different variation. Now, to create different variation, I want every part of this bunny to be like in a different image. So I have the background, the legs, the body, the head, and the ears. And this is a division. This is, taking apart the bunny in a way that I selected. You can, of course, do it in another way. But I thought this is the parts I want. So want to have background, legs, body, head, and the ears, and I want them all to combine together for a single bunny. Now, the question is, how to make sure that we have the same look. Okay, so for the whole bunny to have the same face of this part of the bunny. So for this, we work in Illustrator with something called symbols. So here in the interface, there are the layer windows and the artboard windows. Artboard is like the square. Layer is all the different layers of the graphics. So how do we use this to create this kind of object? So you know what? Let me show you in a very, very simple way how to do so. So let's say I want to make a face, and I'll do it with my not so good talent. As I said, I'm not the best kind of artist, but let's say I want to create like a head. Okay, so I want to do it from a few paths. So I'll do something like this, and I want to create the head shape. So I'll take the lift tool, and I'll do something like this, and I'll want the line to be thicker so I can see it. I'll get closer to it, Alt and the mouse scroll to get closer. I'll then use this selection tool that I can use to change the path. So I want to do some kind of face. Okay, so I'm changing this shape, and this is like the basic face, right? So this is one part. Now, in order to be able to reuse this thing, I want it to be a symbol. The symbol, here you can see the symbols, and if I press it and it's open, you can see all the symbols I have in the sim, and there are a lot. Now, if I press this plus button, I think it will create a symbol for this one. Let's have a look. I press the plus, and it asks me how to call this symbol. It also has an export type. Movie clip is something that we used to use in Flash, okay, Adobe Flash, which was very famous in the past. And let me just give it a name of face background. Okay, and now we can see I can see it right here, right? This is nice. So what is symbol good for? So let's say I have this face, and I go and create a copy of it. Okay, and both of them are the symbol of the face. Okay, you can see it here. Say we have this face background. Okay, and if I double click it, it tells me, hey, look, this thing is a symbol. If you go inside, you might ruin it. And I can turn this off, but it's actually very useful. I wanted it to know that this is a symbol. So I'll say like, okay, I want to edit this. And you see that it got in focus, and all the other graphics are a bit dimmer because I work with this part. And for this part, I want to do something really simple. I just want to change the background. To edit the symbol, I have actually, okay, so we have the face background. I actually need to be inside in the path. Okay, again, inside it, select it, I'll play it again. Let's change the color. Let's do it for now in this, and then I can double press here and select a different color. Now you see that when I did this has changed, but not this one yet. Okay, but this is okay. I'm editing symbol, and after I get out, all the symbols, instant symbol will change immediately. So we have this, and let's say I just want to add some kind of a white light for it. So, and I'll just take the brush. This is not the best way to create graphics, but it will be good enough for now. And okay, I'll have the brush. I'll put white color. I don't need any move it, use again the brush, and make sure I have a big enough brush. And I just want to make like this lighting effect of white. Okay, so we have something like this. And then when I go out, okay, you can see I changed this symbol, but actually also this copy of the symbol has changed. And it doesn't matter how many copies I have. Okay, if I have another one here, I'll double click it, I'll go inside. And for now, I just select it and use the recolor tool. Okay, and just change the color. For example, I'll change it to more yellow. Okay, so now I have this yellow background. And when I go out, all the symbol are changing. So this is great, right? So I start with this. We have this symbol. I'll put it just in the middle. Okay, and now let me work real fast and add some eyes for it. And now I have a group for this one eye. And I can actually copy it and have two eyes, put them together, and let's put them as a symbol. So again, I'll press here the plus, I have the symbol, and I'll call it, let's just call it face eyes. So we have the face eyes. Okay, and now when I put, we have this kind of a interesting guy, actually, not bad. Okay, and now I just want to create, add a mouth to it. So let me create a symbol for the mouth real fast. So we have these parts. I just take them aside for a second, make sure they're working together. I'll create a group. Okay, and I can put it in like here. So we have the eye symbol, we have the head symbol, and we have the mouth symbol. So now I'll place this and actually add the face, mouth, and I have these three symbols. Okay, now let's say I want to do the same things I did with the bunnies, create few faces like this. So I just take this canvas. Okay, this is the canvas editing and selecting tool. I can drag it around, and if I use Alt, it creates a copy. And if I use Shift, it's keep it aligned with the vertical or the, okay, it's keep it in straight lines in like horizontal, vertical, or 45 degrees. Anyway, I want it to be here, okay? And what I'll do here, actually, I'll do another two copies. For the one for the eyes, for the head and mouth. So here's another, and here's another. Okay, so let me just remove what I don't need. So I'll go with the so let's say I want only the background here. So I'll take the eyes off and the mouth off. Here we'll have the eyes. So I'll take the background and the mouth, and here I want only the mouth. So I'll take the background, the eyes, and leave the mouth. Okay, so now I have all the parts in the exact position of this face. And if I change anything, for example, if I go inside here and it tells me you're going into the symbol editing mode, and I'll start moving the eyes. Okay, so let me just, okay, look this tool. Okay, so here I am looking at the eyes, and let's say I'm just, moving the pupils around. Okay, let's make this a bit better. Control G for group, and I'll move this whole pupil here. This one I don't really need, and I'll do the same for this one. Okay, okay, I'll group them together, move them around. Yes, delete this one. Okay, and now I actually change the eyes. And as you can see, it changed the eyes of this guy. And again, I can do the same thing with, I can change the mouth a bit, but you know what, I'll leave it like that for now. So if I want to make more copies of this face to do some more editing, all I need to do more is change some properties and change the symbol. So let me show you, I'll show just a very simple way to create another type of eyes. So let's say I'm taking these eyes and I have them here and I want to change them. So if I select them here and I press here, I have the ability to duplicate the symbol. And this symbol, let me look at it as a list, large list view. Okay, so list is face eyes 2, and actually it's okay name. Let me just edit it. So I'll go inside. Oh, it's not this one, it's this one. So I'll double click here, I go inside, I zoom in, and I do something like this. I'll start with moving the pupil here. Maybe you know what, I'll make him, let me get back to edit. Okay, so maybe do something like this, which is actually interesting. So I have these eyes, and let me just, maybe add like this line and this line. So I have, with a very simple steps, I have a different type of eye. But when I go back to my working area, I don't see these eyes because they are in the symbol library, but they are not here. But if I'll take them from here, for example, and I just pull them inside, okay, I can see these eyes, right? Now, if I want to change this symbol, change this eyes, I can do it really easily, but let me show you how we can do it without losing this information. So I'm using Shift now with the canvas tool, so with the artboard tool to select all the artboards, and I'll just move, okay, sorry, okay, using the Alt, okay, now we get a copy of all of them. Okay, and now I want to change, I want to have a face with a different type of eye. So I can go to this symbol, and when I select a symbol, you can see here on the tool up here that I can change the eye symbol here and change it to the other type of eyes and change here. Now, this is a different instance of the symbol than this one. So in order to see how it looks on the face, I also need to change it here. I'll go here and change the eyes. This one. And now I have the eyes separately here, and I see the whole face, and I can actually export them and use them in Unity to create different kind of faces. In the same way I created different types of bunnies. So let's talk about something else. So we understood how to use symbol, we understood how to use different combination to create many different bunnies, but how many bunnies can we create from all the parts I have right here? Okay, so let's have a look. So we have here, actually, this is the full images. It's more for the full images of the bunny is used for just knowing how it would look. But what's important in the different parts. So we have 5 different parts, and we have 5 combinations. Okay, so we have like for the background, we have 5 types of background. For the legs, we have 5 types of legs. For the body, 5 types. The same for the face and the ears. Okay, so how many bunnies can we actually construct from this combination of parts? So let me just put the text here, and we'll do the calculation. Okay, and let me just make this text much bigger. So we have here, we have 5 backgrounds times 5 ears times 5 body times 5 legs and 5 heads, for example. Okay, not in that order, but we have 5 of each and 5 options. So this is the number of possibilities we have. And this is just a way of calculation how many options do we have to arrange these different parts in this group. So we have 5 options for the ears, 5 for the head, then we got 5 for the body, 5 for the legs, and 5 for the background. Now let's do the calculation. So this is actually the same as 5 powered by 5. So let's calculate it. So 5 powered by 1 is 5. 5 powered by 2 is 25. By 3 is 125. By powered by 4 is 625. And by 5 is 625 times 5, which is 3,125. Okay, so actually we can create from this these parts 3,125 different types of bunny from only 5 basic bunnies divided to 5 parts. So basically you can think of it as 25 pieces of graphics, which are quite simple and based on one another. And using all these parts, really what let us in Unity have the different combination of bunnies. Okay, so if I'm back here in Unity and I press enter, this is just a really early stage when I can check the different combinations. And you can see here we have for the game manager all the files that it used to construct, and I also using naming conventions. So for example, if I look at the images, I have all these paths. Let me just want to able to see it in a different way. Okay, so here we can see on the path, you can see that, for example, the last digit represents the background. I put the digit in the order of layers. So the last digit is the background, then we have the next digit is the legs, then the body, then the head, and then the ears. And there's also the way I arrange them in layers. So to make sure that they are displayed correctly, so the background is in order in layer 10, okay, which is quite low. Then for the legs, I put in 20. For the body, I put it in 30. So the body is above the legs and above the background, of course. For the head, I put 50, okay, because it is over everything, include the ears, and the ears will be on 40. Okay, if I change it, for example, let's say I did a mistake and I changed the background and I put it in 35. Okay, so it has the body and the legs. But if I put it in 10 or 0, it's in the right place. So all I needed to do is put the images together in the right order, put the paths, and then just changing the spite of the images. So we can have the different types of bunny when pressing enter. So this is the work I've done so far. I hope this tutorial helped you understand how we can construct an object and asset from different assets and how to do that in Adobe Illustrator. Now, this is just one way, of course, of creating graphics, but this is very useful, and I think many artists use this method, use Adobe Illustrator. So I hope this is helpful. Even if you don't do it the same way, or the artist that you work with, if you develop game and you are the programmer, and the artist that you work with, you're the programmer maybe as a tech artist, work with different way, the principle are still the same for taking the different parts and constructing an image. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me. I hope this tutorial was useful for you. I would love to hear from you in the comments, maybe ask some questions. Of course, likes will be great, and shares, and if you can, just subscribe. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.